Gonna lay down and I'm gonna tell my story since I was talking about how how I signed up and then quit from OnlyFans a couple years ago with this girl I was dating because her body was so hot. I was like, this this is $1 million body. You could be making 1 million. I'm willing to participate if that's um, but we gave up. She got cold feet and I backed out. But I'm here to tell a different story. I was like, you know what? Let's go through and let's do uh let's do a recounting of all my relationships, all my sexcapades, all my um learning about women from the framework of women that I've um, slept with. And this is gonna cover, sexuality as well. Um, because it is a big part of our lives, as much as we try to be a gentleman or be proper and pretend like we aren't not a sexual creature. It's not a big part of our life. We're respectable people working professional jobs, and we don't want to be objectified as sexual objects or be seen as a creep or pervert or sex addict or or worse. Um, and I think a lot of that is problematic. And that was one of the reasons why I was willing to go on OnlyFans. Was like I wanted to break down that barrier wall. I was like, you know what, couples make love and as long as it's healthy, if it's not like some weird kinky abusive objectifying fetish, if it's not that kind of weird content, if it's just normal sacred lovemaking, like it was a matter of like we don't see that. Like if you go on any whatever porn site, it's all just like weird incest fetish and weird like um, power fetish, like a teacher with a student, weird semi pedo stuff, and weird like mother son or father daughter stuff. It's all gross. And I was like, what if we just put two beautiful people having healthy, tender, um, what I call tantra sex, basically sex where you're in meditation, worshiping the other person. You're worshiping it physically, and it's not just taking someone's body; it's worshiping someone's body. Um, so I was like, why don't we put that kind of positive sexuality out there, and then with any money, like we'll use it so that we can not worry about money and also take care of improving um, nature, buying land and making a place for us to protect nature. So yeah, let's go back to how I became sexually free, liberated, I guess. Very sexually liberated with healthy view of sex. Um, and yeah, like I think I think I should start off by saying I was molested as a child. I was maybe 5 or 6. Really, like at a very young age, young enough where I can hardly remember exactly how it went down and how I felt about it. I don't remember really feeling incredibly affected by it. It was just like a weird experience. I was at a neighbor's, I think his name is Holt, something Holt. I'm thinking it's James Holt. Weird blonde kid, slightly older than me, I think, because we didn't go to the same school, or we weren't classmates. We were just neighborhood friends. I think he was a year or two older than me, maybe 3. Um, and he had no dad, just his mom. And his mom was weird. But I could see um, I could see his mom being pretty back when she was young, and because she was like a young mom. I mean, she was still like young. She must have had him like late teens or whatever. And I say all this just because this kid was like sexualized too young. So I'm assuming his mom was also abused, got pregnant as a teen or whatever, and then the dad was also weird sex perversions. I'm saying this because America is full of weird sex perversions, and so I'm thinking this kid James Holt was also molested a lot, and basically um, got um, his sexuality turned, the switch turned on well before he was 12. So probably if he was 8 or 9 or 10, he had probably been molested for years before. And so I remember I think we would go to his house to play with toys or whatever. And then, yeah, he wanted to like do butt stuff. He convinced me. It was like, um, I don't know. Somehow he just convinced me. And I didn't even know why he liked touching butt stuff. I was just like, okay. Like I wasn't for it. I wasn't against it. Is what I was trying to say. I didn't understand. It would be like it was the same as like, let's play thumb wrestling. Like there was a competition to it, but um, anyways, I didn't understand what we were doing in that closet that he took me to. Um, he was getting pleasure, and I was just like weirded out. Like, what is this? But I don't remember if I didn't want to hang out with him anymore after that. I don't know. It's just weird suppressed memory, I guess. But I'm guessing that's at that age I wasn't sexual at that point, right? I wasn't mature enough. I was only 5 or 6. But maybe it it started me on the path. Maybe, I don't know. All I know is by the time I was like 11 or 12, my hormones started raging, and it was just like 24/7 boner as a 11 or 12-year-old kid. And um, and Sean Rooster, his dad was like this fat white guy that had stacks and stacks of Playboys, and this was before internet, so everyone looked at Playboy porn magazines, and videos. How did we get videos? I really don't remember. But basically, all these dads in the neighborhood had stacks of Playboy porn. They were all like horny as hell, made with kids, and getting Playboy porns that the kids would steal, and then like I guess sell them to other younger kids. I don't know. Anyways, we would look at naked women at like 12 years old on Playboy magazines. And then I was pretty much, I guess, addicted to the videos that we had acquired somehow. Oh yeah, in Centerville, there was a porn shop that sold VHSs. And yeah, I guess in Blockbuster even had a room like in the back or some, I don't know. Anyways, shortly after the internet came out, and I was one of the early users of the internet, dial up, and I spent a lot of time there. I was a weirdo that just spent all my time on the internet. When I was able to talk to people all over the world, it was just incredible for me. But yeah, I only spent time on the internet, and that involved looking at a lot of porn. There was a lot of porn on the internet. On dial-up, it would like come down like photos or very like 120 by 240 pixel videos that were only like 12 seconds. And you'd wait like 40 minutes to watch something to download over dial-up for a 12-second video. And when the video turned out to be shit, you'd be like, God, 40 minutes downloading that stupid shit. But yeah, we watched a lot of porn, and then it really messed me up as a kid. It made me really sex crazed, which made it difficult to just talk normally to a girl. So I think in high school, I was just really shy. I was decent looking, and I had like secret admirers leaving love notes in my locker in junior high, 8th grade, 9th grade, whatever. And then there were some girls that I knew liked me. I think Pauline and Carissa and a few other girls thought I was cute, but I was so shy. Also, I was too young, and I asked Lane Anderson out, and she said yes. And then I was like, holy shit, I don't know what we're supposed to do together. I don't even know what to talk to her about. I don't even think we have any commonalities to talk about. And so like I never talked to her. And I was just weird about relationship with girls. I just glossed over that part. 6th grade. 6th grade, I really wasn't sexualized either. I remember making out with Casey Hingston, and it was just like it wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't pleasurable. Same with Jana Grant. It was because we were still kids and they were still kids. Like these girls, I was in 6th grade. I'm 12. She's 12. Like literally, her stomach is out, extends out more than any breast. Like at that age, we're kids, but we're trying to be like teenagers, I guess, early, and we're dating, going out, and so it's like, oh, we're supposed to kiss and be making out all the time, but she's still a kid, and she's. I'm sure if I were 12 and making out with like a 18-year-old with a fully developed body, that would have been pleasant for me as a 12-year-old kid. And I remember there were some kids in our neighborhood who were like 12 and 13 years old and apparently having sex with a 16-year-old girl 3-4 years older. Eric Whitestone was like the biggest Mac Daddy back in that day. Somehow he was convincing older girls to have sex with him. He was like a big drug addict dude. Whatever. So that was my elementary school experiences with women. Going to party, my girlfriend, and making out with him, but it was like unenjoyable because literally she has the body of a child because I'm still a child. We're both still children trying to make out. And so I treated Wayne and Jana and Casey and Suzanne. Holy shit, I dated Suzanne for like, she was taller. That was weird. The first time we kissed, I had to like kiss upward. Anyways, those relationships all ended bad because they were all kids. And I was a kid and really wasn't even that attracted to them, or I didn't have any sexual desire for them. And so all those relationships always ended really fast because I just wouldn't put in any effort. And so why did I even go out there? I don't know. It was like a popularity thing. Competing like to be a couple that everyone would be like, whoa, they're a couple. Weird socialite elementary school. Yeah, Lane Anderson was the most popular girl, so I got to date her. And I was like, oh, I'm popular. Even though it was like, even though I was a little bitch. So high school, I stayed a virgin. I didn't have self-confidence either. My mom had destroyed my confidence. And yeah, I was too shy around women. I was unconfident and it was mostly Asian girls that were into me. At that era in the 90s, Asians were pretty much hated. There was no BTS, no Korean dramas, so white people thought Asian men were weird and disgusting at them. So, of the small population of Asian women at my school or neighborhood, I got a lot of attention, but I think because I grew up watching American TV, I think I got manipulated to, you know, only like white or American girls. I think at that time, Tyra Banks was famous. It's like the first black supermodel. And yeah, I masturbated to her a lot. Our house got these Victoria's Secret magazine catalogs. And it was like Halle Berry. Not Halle Berry. What was it? I just forgot her name now. Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks and like basically all the Giselle, blonde, blue-eyed models on Victoria's Secret. And not really any Asian girls, not any Asian models. So when you're a teen, that's how they train you to. So a bunch of teen girls saw BTS, and now they're, you know, in their 20s and learning Korean and flying all the way to Korea just to only date Asian men. Korea booze. And here in Brazil, I walk around and a lot of people come up to me, talk to me, you're from Korea, you're from Korea, and they're really just trying to satisfy their Korean fetish that they've developed since they were a teenage girl. Watching BTS on their phones. But yeah, same way for me. I only was attracted to white or black American girls. Kelly Kapowski and Lisa Kudrow. Lisa Kudrow? No, not Lisa Kudrow. Lisa from Saved by the Bell. I forget her last name. Kelly Kapowski and Lisa Tepapa. Those were the two girls that became my ideal. Right? Lisa Ling didn't come out until like the 2000s. So in the 90s, when I was a teenager, Kelly Kapowski and Lisa. And also the girl from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I thought she was cute. So now I'm realizing, yeah, where my attractions came from. Saved by the Bell. And I'm sure, and Victoria's Secret. So, yeah. I'm trying to think. College, I went to the wrong school. I went to the wrong college. All the people there just were different than me. I didn't find my tribe. I didn't find I don't know. It was a very white MAGA crowd there. There were Asian frats or Asian clubs or Asian groups, but yeah, I just didn't connect with. They were too fobby or too just too much alcoholism. Everywhere I looked, there was too much alcoholism, and I was severely allergic to alcohol. I don't react well to alcohol. I become very lethargic. I just want to sleep. So I didn't really date because everyone in college at that age, I mean, that epic guy at that college, all they did was drink, insanely amounts, and yeah, it's just a bunch of Kevin Newans and ABG girls and white MAGA frats. So I stayed a virgin through college as well. And then I got out of college, and it was just like the worst period of life. I had to struggle to find work. It was just the worst economic downturn at the age between 2000 and 2009, two crashes. And I was depressed, super depressed at that age. I didn't know who I was. I left school or graduated from school and went to the workforce. Could only find shitty jobs, low income. Parents thought I was a huge disappointment. Parents hated me, made fun of me. Not made fun to laugh, but like criticized me, like, you're terrible, you're stupid, you can't do anything, that kind of. And ended up living in my parents' basement. Was able to get like a consistent job, like a job that I stayed at for 5 years, I think. And living at my parents' basement, I was able to save up a lot of money. Like, I didn't drink, I didn't go out to parties like everyone else in their 20s. Everybody else spending hundreds of dollars a week at the club. I didn't do that. Saved a lot of money and I invested wisely. I had a knack for understanding what was a good company to invest in. So I understood I needed to invest in Netflix early on. Netflix before it was streaming, it used to be a DVD mailed to you that you would mail back in a specially made return envelope, bright red. Anyways, I was like, that company is gonna be huge, and I invested in, and I did well, and then I just focused on that. I didn't focus on women at all. I didn't date at all. I felt depressed. I felt like women hated me automatically from the get-go because I was Asian. At this time, there was still no BTS. Like, Magic Mike. Those are the type of guys. Mark Wahlberg. Oh, all women loved him. I hated that. I hated that all women loved Mark Wahlberg. A doofus-looking white dude that is a racist. I hated that Mark Wahlberg was famous because women loved him. And I was like, I'm the opposite of Mark Wahlberg. I remember fighting with my roommate because she idolized Mark Wahlberg. And I was like, and I had kind of like a slight crush on her, or I developed a slight crush on her over time. And so I was like angry at her hurt feelings and whatnot. So yeah, I lived in my house. I ran out of room. To